They might think they're safe blocking the Firebrand, which I guess almost gets them there, but then they get punished by this, and that's exactly lethal, and that's why that Dragon Egg is just so good. That Dragon Egg is so good. Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I wanted to bring you guys dragons. Now, dragons has always been kind of like a niche type in Legends of Runeterra, if you want to say it, right? I feel like there hasn't been really ever like a really strong dragons deck, and there's a good reason for that. This deck is like very mid-range. It doesn't really have a way to like do crazy stuff like a big elusive win condition, etc. However, about a year ago, we did get this card, Dragon Clutch, that ended up getting buffed so that now, you can give Overwhelm to all your dragons. So usually, that's one of the ways that you're able to finish the game. The other thing now with this deck that makes it better is Shyvana. So in the newest patch, Shyvana got buff/adjusted, right? It's not a full buff, because now she levels up while she's in the deck. While that's amazing, her level up also takes longer now, right? So her level up takes longer. She does level up in the deck, so it's now better if you draw Shyvana late. If you draw her late, that's fine. It doesn't feel like a bad draw, because she's already going to come down leveled up. The other big addition is that the Seraphine strike that she creates is actually going to cost 2 instead of 3. So you're pretty much getting a free single combat every single turn when you attack with Shyvana. And to be really good with this deck, because obviously the dragons enjoy that strike, and you're able to remove the opponent's units slowly. And that's why this deck, I think, potentially has a place in the meta now, because of how easy it is to level up Shyvana and actually get value from the strikes. Now, with this deck, my goal is the following. We want to start with an early board presence with Dragon Shout, Herald of the Dragons, Dragon Guard Lieutenant, right? These cards, and even the Joint Dragon Guard. These cards are not there to block. They're there to kind of set up your mid-range plan. Especially the Herald of the Dragon allows you to then be able to play Shyvana on turn 3, Fuse Firebrand on turn 4, and Cat Dragon on turn 5. So our game plan is you want to discount or you want to get the extra draw, and then play your big dragons at turn earlier if possible, and then from there you can actually start getting value from them, especially if you have the Ruined Dragon in the field. Then the Fury procs are going to start adding up really quickly, and your dragons are going to get really big. However, that's really the only game plan that your deck has, and that's why I keep saying that dragons might not be like the best deck, because they don't have all the tools that something like an Aatrox King can have. Like they have freeze, they have healing, etc. Right? You only have one game plan. You put big dragons on the field, and either you win the game or you don't eventually and just get value. Does that mean that the deck is bad? Not necessarily, but it's always going to be a thing more like a tier 2/tier 3 deck. But still, I love dragons, so let's spend some time today showcasing some games with the deck and see how it works now that we have the new level of Shyvana. As always, you can stay for the end of the video where we'll do some mulligan tips and do kind of like a longer deck breakdown and some additional tips. But for now, enjoy the games coming up soon. And if you like the games today and our content, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post Illaoi videos every single day. Enjoy the games. In this match, we're going against Ryze Ionia. It's a little bit concerning because they will have access to like recalls and stuff like that. As much as I love the Cadre game, I think it's a little bit too early. I don't want to be stuck with multiple big units on my hand. I think I want to go Dragon Guard and have one day White Flame. Or Shyvana, potentially. The recalls are very annoying, and obviously the stun. Ooh, that Dragon Clutch is not bad. The stuns could also be a problem. I'm okay with that, mostly because it's just a mana sink for them. So it's not horrible, per se. You can go Dragon Guard. Go Dragon Guard. If we don't top the Shyvana, is it actually worth it to play the Dragon Clutch? Maybe. Yeah, do your thing. Because I'm gonna have to start putting pressure here eventually.
The spirit gives to those who
That's very annoying. Those Dragon Links are always a pain. Those Dragon Links are always a pain, right? And we don't have any single combats with us right now. We don't get the Shyvana. We can go win the White Flame. I think I gotta go win the White Flame first so I can have access to Pel Cascade. before I actually go for the Dragon's Clutch. I know the opponent can block with the Dragon Link, but that's just gonna give me an additional Fury proc.
Man will always fight and always die.
So we're gonna go like this. Let's play the Pell Cascade now. I was gonna play it regardless. If you don't wanna give me that, that's okay too. I think I still go ahead for the Pell Cascade. I think I wanna start buffing this up. That's a great draw, because now we can have double Challenger. We can have one guard, right? We can have the Dragon Guard plus the Lieutenant. And have Jarvan come down after? Or is it better to just go for the Fuse Firebrand? I have this Concerted Strike that I can also use on a Ryze right now. Which doesn't seem bad to me.
We crave control.
Ah, that's so good. That refills the whole spell mana. That refills the whole spell mana. Let's go here first.
To honor the fallen, would you know them to
So what is gonna be able to draw here? I don't know that I actually commit the Concerted Strike just yet. I think I go second Wind Dragon Guard, let the opponent go to Shyvana win. And save the Concerted Strike for a potential... They still get the Dragon Link, cool. So that's perfect, right? That single combat is literally perfect, because now we can go like this. And still have access to single combat if the opponent has a way to stop us. So this gives me access to single combat to stop, to kill the Ryze if the opponent actually tries to defend it. This is also gonna level up the Jarvan if the opponent doesn't have a way to bounce the Jarvan back. Even if the opponent bounces Jarvan back, that's I think okay with us. They're actively stopping the Wounded Wyvern from growing bigger, which is fine. I respect it. We're pretty far behind from Shyvana level up, because now her level up is 16, so it is kind of like a small adjustment that does make a lot of difference, because you can now level her up as quickly. Yeah, I mean, the opponent was deciding if they want to like stop my Jarvan level up by not blocking at all, but again, I don't know if that's actually helpful for them. They have to just hope that I don't have any answer for this free call that's about to happen right now. I guess they could have access to Nullified or Deny to stop the single combat, but if I'm baiting out a Deny out of this, I think I'm cool, right? Like, if I'm baiting a Deny from this, I think I'm fine. That's why I say a single combat draw was so clutch. Twin? Okay. Alright, I respect it. That still levels up our Jarvan, so next time when he comes down, he's gonna be leveled up. The Ryze is still in a bad spot where he can die to the Lieutenant. You're still gonna get the draw here. You lose the Dragon. I guess they could technically kill this. Might want to just keep the mana for Concerted Strike and develop my Herald of Dragons next turn to eat up like a Shower of Revenge. Of Shower of Betrayal, sorry. So I think I'm just gonna summon this to eat up the Shower of Betrayal so that the Lieutenant doesn't lose it. We still have Concerted Strike. If the opponent plays another Shard, then I think I should just kill the Ryze right now before he can get access to the Spell Shield. I guess he can still die to the Jarvan anyways, but still. That's unfortunate. If it's a Shower Betrayer, we lose the Lieutenant. Shower Madness.
It breaks the best of us.
So the stun is a big deal. Let's force it out of them. Let's force the recall out of them. I want to force the recall out or the deny, okay. The stun is a big deal because now obviously they can kill the Jarvan. We have 8+2. That's gonna be if we are gonna have the Jarvan, it's gonna get stunned regardless, and we lose the access to the Concerted Strike.
Imagination is not experience, and instinct is no.
We lose the access to the Concerted Strike if the Jarvan comes down. So I think what I gotta do is actually not play the Jarvan. I think I'm actually supposed to play the Fuse Firebrand and then pull the Ryze with the Lieutenant. Now, the downside to that is that we obviously don't have the level of Jarvan anymore now, but I need to have access to Concerted Strike before this Ryze can go higher. Because once this Ryze has Spell Shield, I guess we will have Jarvan to remove the Spell Shield really easily. And maybe that's one reason why I should have gone for it that way.
Prepare for battle.
Go like this. I want them to use the stun. That's going to be 2 mana. So they'll use the stun. They still don't want to block with the dragons because they don't want Shyvana to level up, I guess. Yeah, I was going to say, just do it. You had to start blocking eventually. They opted to keep the Rune Prison. Let's do it like this. This is gonna let me push a lot more damage as well if this goes through. I'm waiting for the second deny. The opponent could have second deny, or the opponent could also have something like a twin plus the stun. Or they're just gonna recall their own Ryze. I think I'm fine with that. I mean, it sucks that obviously we don't get the value here. Shyvana is still 1 away from leveling up because that strike got denied. The problem is, again, just the Spell Shield. The Spell Shield and the stuns are a big deal. The stun especially kind of just completely stops everything. We have to actually play the Jarvan at this time. We have to play the Jarvan at this time so that we can get the Cataclysm. So now the opponent's going to have the Spell Shield. This is going to die here. They have 4 shards. Do they have the 5th? We have to play the Jarvan now. So that, yeah, this is gonna die, right? The Lieutenant is gonna die. We can play Herald of Dragons to bait out the second Shard of Betrayal, so that one of these guys doesn't die. Yeah, this is Shard of Betrayal. Kills the Lieutenant. The Rune Prison is now also gonna be 0. The second Shard of Betrayal is just gonna lose this one. If they have access to the last shard, they just win. They did it that way so that they can regain the spell mana because they have the Shard of Reverence on the field. He's scared of summoning the Ryze because of the Jarvan, I guess. Shard of Violence. This thing dies. Get another draw. You're not able to win with the Ryze. I need to start getting the Cataclysms. So I need to do it this way. Opponent has no space for a Dragon Link anymore. I guess they do, because they can bounce back the Disciple. We can go Dragon's Clutch, but again, this is the stun. The Rune Prison completely changes everything. That Rune Prison completely changes everything. You're not gonna summon the Dragon Link. I think that's cool with me then. Because now I don't have to worry about the heal. All I have to worry about is the stun, which admittedly is a big deal to worry about, right? I have to worry about the stun, and I have to worry about you stopping this Cataclysm. I think I'm down to just put the Overwhelm on my dragons, especially this one because he has Spell Shield, right? So my strategy next then is have the Cataclysm to finish with an Overwhelm 5 run. The stun though, stun is such a big deal. Second Ryze is not gonna help you here. I guess you might as well use the mana. You don't get the Dragon Link. We get a Shyvana. If I play... Okay. If I play Shyvana out right now, I'm still okay, right? Cataclysm? Oh, wait. We tapped out of the Pale Cascade value. We tapped out of the Pale Cascade value by doing it this way. But I think I'm fine with this, because we want to go Dragon's Clutch into Cataclysm. Pale Cascade would have helped out here, but it's not like absolutely necessary. Opponent still has the stun, right? The other option is that if the opponent doesn't summon a unit to kill me, to actually, if the opponent actually doesn't summon a unit, then the Cataclysm doesn't do anything. Rune Prison on the Jarvan. If that's all you have, then the Overwhelm is gonna kill you. Still needs to commit one more card because of the level up on the Shyvana. Yeah, so it still needs to commit one more card. That's the problem with Ryze decks. Once you have all the shards, it's nice, right? But you also don't have the board space. So the opponent didn't have the board space with the Dragon Link, which actually would have helped them out more than summoning the second Disciple. I think now that the opponent's done, I guess the opponent did just do double jump solo, so even though they are 5 mana, they could still have the answers. They could still have the answers to survive. Yeah, they could still have the answers to survive here. But I don't think they get to survive the Dragon's Clutch, especially because they're blocking it with the Disciple, and this has Spell Shield. So you need to have 2 spells to be able to actually stop this. They freeze there. So now you're blocking the Shyvana instead, right? You have to block the Shyvana with the Dragon Link. But still, the Dragon Clutch is so good because it's able to give everything overwhelmed. Including giving an additional damage in this one, so that's game. I love it. That's good, that's good. There we go. Spell Shield, that's why I love the Firebrand. I think I love the Firebrand because he has the Spell Shield. So I'm able to commit stuff like this, right? And just push a lot of pressure this way. Whew! And we got to level up the Shyvana at least at that, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Katarina Leona. So obviously they're going to have kind of like that very heavy board presence. I like the Wounded Wyvern with the Dragons, with the Dark Lodestone. My only concern is not having an early unit, and we get the Lieutenant at least, so now we have an early blocker, so that we're at least we're not taking damage early on, right? However, if I play the Dragon Lieutenant, it does mean that I don't have the mana to play White Flame plus Lodestone, but I will need to because I need to be able to block this Pigeon. So I'm gonna have to sacrifice the Lieutenant just so that I can sacrifice the Pigeon. Oh, so that I can kill the Pigeon. If the opponent has another 1-drop, then I'm kind of sad, right? Doesn't have another 1-drop, cool. So we get the nice block. What if we go Lieutenant into Lodestone? Or what if we just pass it first and see what they do? So now we can go Lieutenant, go Lodestone, kill that Crimson Pigeon for free, and still have a blocker for later. I like it. The Punisher is going to be Katarina, right? The Punisher is going to be Katarina. We can play the Shyvana. Have a pretty good blocker here, right?
My faith protects me.
Ooh, that sucks. I think I still like the Shyvana. I think I like the Shyvana. We're able to play the White Flame plus the Confront next turn. So the second Shyvana actually ends up being useful. This is going to be a big deal though. That Sun Guardian is actually such a problem. The opponent could also have Leona next turn, which almost makes me want to not develop. I guess developing is fine though, because I still get the same value. Kind of feel like I need to kill this. Kind of feels like I need to kill this Sun Guardian. So I'm gonna go like this first. If the opponent has Leona, then that is annoying. If the opponent has Leona, that is a problem. But I have to play around them not having it, right? Yeah. Yeah, then having Leona is always a problem here. Now, we could go...
Behold the sun's holy light.
Because the reason I didn't do a confront is I'm always gonna confront here, right? I'm always gonna confront here. I'm concerned that I'm letting this live when I shouldn't. I'm concerned that I only have one chance to kill that, and it was this turn. Opponent will have a level of Leona to be able to pull my Shyvana. Wow. I guess I'm okay with that. I mean, you're gonna kill... You can't even... You are gonna kill the Shyvana. Well, no, he's just gonna stun her, right? He's gonna stun the Shyvana. Yeah, he's gonna stun the Shyvana. I guess if they have another Leona, I just lose the game, right? If they have a second Leona in their hand, I just lose the game. Because this is 13 right here. If they have another Leona, I just lose the game because they can just stun her, right? So... Oh wait, they don't get to stun. So if I go Kadrigan here, I'm okay. This makes it out of range of the Leona. If they have a second Leona, they could stun. But that would only put them at 7 plus 4, 11. I go down to 4. That could be a problem. Okay, Katarina, that is also another problem. Now, my Shyvana is still not leveled up here, right? This is only going to be 10. And the opponent can also just kill the Shyvana right now. That's okay, because I have a second one now. Yeah, we're just going to trade. Yeah, let's just trade for now.
It's just a nick.
We'll play the second Shyvana.
No one gets in my
We'll
way.
play the second Shyvana. We have access to the Dragon Guard as well. Opponent didn't even push damage through, but the Katarina is the big problem. The Katarina is the big issue because the Katarina allows them to rally and just get so much value from us. So we can go Dragon Guard and then go Shyvana. Opponent is gonna just play Katarina. Oh, that's not Katarina. Alright. Well, I guess good thing I went like this, because now I can just play the Shyvana instead. If I go like this, opponent can easily play the Blaze Edge. I think I have to. This is gonna level up my Shyvana, right? So I have to. The problem again is that I don't have enough blockers. I don't have enough blockers for next turn. So the opponent's gonna get to push 5, 7, 8 damage. I go down to 5. So, sorry. Yeah, I go down to 5 because the Blaze Edge goes to face. We do have the Concerted Strike, but I think I'm gonna need the blockers. Opponent gets Katarina twice next turn. Opponent gets the Katarina twice next turn. I don't think I have enough. I guess they don't have to Katarina twice if I consider the first Katarina. Because opponent cannot open, right? So they have to kind of just... I guess they don't have to play Katarina right away. They can play something else. If they just go like this, I think I'm okay, right? We can go Dragon Shout, have Consider Strike for the Katarina, and we're okay. Maybe we actually wait for them to do something first. I think I want to wait. Before I commit the Consider, I want to wait. Because I'm dying to the Decimate anyways, right? I'm dying to the Decimate anyways, if the opponent has it. Because the Blaze Edge is dealing... The Blaze Edge is going to deal 10 to 4. I guess... I guess I could now, because if the opponent plays Katarina, I'm still okay. It has to be the Firebrand. I think we just slam the Firebrand here. We're dying to the Decimate no matter what. Right? If the opponent doesn't have a blocker, we just commit lethal.
Never going to fail.
We can beat the Fervor because we have access to Concerted Strike. And we also... Well, actually, we can just do the Shyvana... We can just do the Shyvana spell, right? So we'll have the Shyvana spell to beat a Fervor, but we always lose to the Decimate no matter what. We're always losing to the Decimate no matter what, so I don't think it really matters. Try to play around it. At this point, I just need to have the Seraphine Strike to be able to stop the Fervor, right? There we go. Opponent goes like this, and they're gonna lose because they didn't Phantom Block. So even if they have a second Fervor, they now lose to the Concerted Strike because they decided not to Phantom Block unless you literally have a third one. If they have Phantom Block, they would have survived and had another turn. There we go. Yeah, you always want to Phantom Block. If you're going to do this play, always Phantom Block. You can Phantom Block the Shyvana, which means that the Shyvana doesn't get to push damage and the opponent still survives. So, GG's. In this match, we're going against Twisted Fate and Illaoi. So this is the deck that Grandpa Rogi kind of reached Masters with in like a single day. They have a lot of recalls. I like the Shyvana. I'm trying to see if I can get my early stuff. Like the Wounded Wifeling is not bad. One single combat is also not bad. Dragon Shot is amazing, especially with the Wounded Wifeling. That means I can get double the draw. I guess it can die to the... Let's get greedy. Let's get greedy here.
We are nothing.
Let's get greedy with this. Because it allows me to potentially play the Wounded Wifeling. So we're still getting the double draw then, right? We just play Wounded Wifeling and then Shyvana and then have access to single combat next turn. So we play Wounded Wifeling. We play Shyvana. And we have access to single combat.
Fire and
we have our one of ASol. We have a second Shyvana, which is actually so good. I might not want to tap out of single combat though. They cannot play Ionia Kaboros at burst speed, right? Okay, well, since the opponent went like this, I think it's actually correct for me to kill their tentacle with the second Shyvana. Also lets me get the faded triggers, and now this Wounded Wifeling is pretty big. We don't want those tentacles to stay alive, right? We don't want the tentacles to stay alive. Now here, we do the Shyvana again. Actually, that's a third Shyvana. That's a different Shyvana because it doesn't say created. So we can single combat, right?
storms
Ideally.
brewing. Storms always brewing.
Let's go here. Let's go here. We can keep the single combat for next turn. Let's go like this.
Break them.
Shyvana is gonna level up here. The opponent doesn't do anything. By open attacking, I stop a potential tentacle smash. We have single combat and consider to also level her up if we need to. I think that's fine, right? Because we still level her up. What if we actually commit the single combat here first? And just do I need to take on that tentacle? I'm kind of scared that if I let this tentacle live, it's gonna be a problem, right? Do I need to take on that tentacle? Because Shyvana is already gonna be leveled up anyways. Remember that she levels up in the deck now. I do think I need to kill this tentacle now. So I'm gonna go like this. I don't want that tentacle. This deck is all about the tentacles, right? So by killing the tentacle now, I think we're still in a good spot. Shyvana is still gonna level up no matter what. And we can play the Fused Firebrand so that we have access to Spell Shield. And usually single combat is okay, because not only do we have a second single combat in our hand, but we're also about to have a leveled up Shyvana in our board, which is going to give us the free single combats every single time. Question is, do we slam the Fused Firebrand here? Sure.
She was born from the mountain.
And tapping out of answers is a little bit worrisome, right? Because next time I want to play Shyvana out. Opponent could Tentacle Smash to kill this Wounded Wifeling right now. Which is another reason why potentially we wanted to keep the single combat, but I think keeping the single combat is better off as a response to the opponent having like removal. As long as I can keep these tentacles from growing, we're in a good spot. I want the opponent to tap out of the way to answer Shyvana. They do. We play the last Shyvana. And then next time we attack, and we have access to the single combat. Tentacle Smash doesn't do it, because if the opponent goes for Tentacle Smash, again, this is why keeping that single combat was so important. Because now if the opponent tries to play Tentacle Smash, we can just single combat using the Kadrigan, and that kills the Tentacle. And then the Tentacle Smash just gives more Fury procs to my Shyvana. Right? There we go. Now, I cannot play the Dragon Guard because obviously I cannot tap out of... Oh, what a draw! What a draw that is. If we go here, I still have access to double single combat and all my units survive. Yeah, this is fine. That's a leveled up Jarvan as well, by the way. The Tentacle dies for free against the barrier. We have Seraphine Strike. That was an amazing draw. Like, look at this. Like, how is the opponent gonna deal with this? Even if you swap, you can at most are gonna sacrifice into the Fused Firebrand. And we're gonna have a leveled up Jarvan on the field. Wow. You know what I'm thinking? I'm debating if I should actually Seraphine Strike right now. Do a Seraphine Strike right now. If the opponent has another twin, we're losing the Shyvana. Or do I just press OK? I'm just gonna press OK. I think them being at 2 HP, it's not gonna matter for me because I have access to Concerted Strike. Because I have access to Concerted Strike, it's not gonna matter to me what the opponent might have. We have to have access to Cataclysm, Single Combat, and Concerted next time. Which we will. If the opponent commits like any unit here, we can always have the Seraphine Strike as a backup. Yeah, like, this is cool. Your Tentacle is gonna get really big, which, again, great for you. I think I'm actually gonna commit this now. I'm gonna commit this now, just to have the Tentacle be a low enough HP that we can kill it. We go like this. The opponent's gonna heal to full, but that's okay. The Tentacle is gone. We have Concerted Strike. And next time we do attack, the same thing. We have Concerted Strike and we also have the Cataclysm. I didn't play around the barrier. I'm not gonna deny that. But again, if we can keep the Tentacles low enough, I don't see how they beat us. We can actually just play Cataclysm and get another strike from Shyvana. So we technically have access to Cataclysm plus another single combat. Now the opponent is back to 16 HP, which is huge, but they have used a lot of the cards that they need to actually get there. So we just go like this, and all you're doing is giving me a Fury proc and giving me a single combat that costs 2. If you use the deny right here, I think I'm also okay with that. The only annoying part about this is that now we don't have access to the if we play Shyvana, we don't have access to the Concerted Strike. But what can the opponent have? What can the opponent have with 5 mana? That's a threat here. Illaoi? Illaoi doesn't matter, right?
Never lost a fair.
Nope, just the third Twist of Fate.
Something for all.
So now we're actually able to play Shyvana and the Dragon Guard out.
You taught me that when you saved my life.
We actually had lethal last time, by the way. We didn't pull the Watchful Idol. I just thought about that, but that's okay. ASol is kind of funny. ASol is kind of funny. Yeah, so now we can just go like this. Again, we have the strike. I just, like, I feel like I'm in a position where I'm never gonna lose if I just run them out of value. Like, even here, the opponent's losing to my Seraphine Strike on the Watchful Idol. because he gets me the Fury proc. So now the opponent has to have another recall here. A twin. Alright. But again, I'm running them out of value. I'm just running them out of value. Just chilling. We still have the Cataclysm. We're getting double Fury procs on my cards. That's their last Twisted Fate. I don't want to commit this Concerted Strike until I feel like it's safe to. We don't even... We could play the ASol as well, technically. Next turn. We can play Orasi. I do just kill this, right? With the Cataclysm. And I just get my Fury procs back. So the Nagataboros is what they were going for. But again, just kind of get chill here. Let's get the free value here by killing the second one again. I know the opponent gets another tentacle, but again, as long as I keep that tentacle as slow as possible, I don't see how they win. As long as I keep the tentacle as slow as possible, I don't see how they win. Double Concerted now. I think it's time for me to play ASol. I think it's time for me to play ASol and at least get some ASol, right? I don't see how the opponent can win this. I don't see how the opponent can win this through the Cataclysm. Because they're not able to develop anything. They tap out, yeah, I just want to get this ASol level up. You know what? I think I just want to get this ASol level up. the value from Cataclysm is just so big against them. I could have gone Cataclysm on the Shyvana and gotten the strike again. Sure. This does nothing for me, right? Should I kill these boys? Should I kill these boys? You know what? Let's just kill it. Yeah, I mean, it's GG. Let's just kill it. Like, this game was over a while ago, right? Opponent was trying to find a way to be able to get through us. But with all the strikes that we have, it was always going to be impossible. So, GG's. In this matchup, we're going against what looks to be Targon PNC. So it's like a Seraphine. It might just, I guess it's going to be a cat, right? A cat game. I like the Concerted Strike a lot. I like this whole hand. I like the Concerted Strike a lot to kind of get me out of a tough situation if I need to kill a Seraphine. The opponent would like to spend to turn, I guess, 7 for the back alley bar. Double Shyvana is not bad. Honestly, Confront is super underrated. Confront is super underrated. So we can play Lieutenant on turn 2, pull a Zoe or whatever the opponent summons, Shyvana on turn 4, and we get the first Fury proc from hitting the Dragon Shout and kind of start going from there. I guess if the opponent has an Equinox, it's kind of annoying. Oh, super cool, Shan got discarded there. Huh. Discarding a spell is a big deal, because that spell will have counted towards Seraphine level up. Either your hand is really break or you really were desperate to potentially get a Equinox here, because otherwise that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the double Shyvana is really nice, because I don't think opponent has a lot of... I guess they do have like Mystic shots and stuff, and the high note that I need to watch out for. But I don't think they have a great way to deal with my units once they get big enough. So let's see what we draw here. That's a great draw. That's a great draw. So our Shyvana is just gonna become so big so quickly if left unchecked. If the opponent is even still in the game. Maybe they actually got upset about how brick their hand is. Like, really, man? I'm still gonna play out the Dragon Gun. I'm still gonna play out my whole hand. And just pretend that the opponent's still in the game. I think that's the best way to do it. Okay. So we get to play with Dragon Guard now. And if the opponent doesn't do anything, then Shyvana is gonna kill the Dragon Shout And right away get double fury proc. Moon Silver, okay. Alright, you're gonna kill this guy? I think they killed the wrong one. I think they have killed the wrong unit. Let's push the 3 damage because why not? Maybe the opponent actually opts to block. And that way we get rid of a blocker for later. We're gonna play Shyvana. We have access to the Confront. Or we can just keep the access to the Concerted Strike, either way. I think it's gonna depend on whatever the next 2 cards are that we draw. Okay, opponent smartly decides to keep the blocker, which I think is better for them in the long run. Ooh, it could be a Glorious Evolution deck, right? With the Acorn. Otherwise, that makes no sense. I guess you could also... I guess there's enough other cards that you can discard with it that is not a big deal. I think it's better to... I'm debating now. I mean, I can go Wounded White Flame. That way I can get double draw, right? So we can go Wounded White Flame here, then Shyvana, and I still have enough mana for the Confront. So we are able to get the double draw here. We get the Confront, and we can actually put the Confront on either one of our units. We can also just keep the mana for the single combat. That's also fine.
Don't worry about the words. What matters
Maybe that's actually better. Maybe that's actually better. Maybe I don't really care about this Acorn as much. Right? We just go like this, and now if the opponent tries to kill the Shyvana, we can always single combat in response. Wow, okay. So Shyvana is about to level up if the opponent's not careful. Bakali Bar got discounted by the Moon Silver. That's a good hit. That's a very good hit by them. They still have a spell that costs 2. Great Hammers. It's the best one to do it on is the Firebrand. I probably should have just done the single combat because now Shyvana is not going to be leveled up for our next attack. If the opponent decides not to attack here, it's actually better for them to pass right back at us. They still have a spell in their hand that costs 1. That's a 5-cost spell. So I'm kind of concerned about that as well. I think I have to just smack it now. I think I just have to smack it now. Do it on this guy. Just so that it cannot be removed. Oh, it's a Portapalooza? Oh, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's not going to help you much. You get the draw. You get the draw. And the opponent might just lose next turn.
None like me.
Unless they get a portal here, they might just lose next turn because we can confront to challenge the Bakali Barkeep away from my units. So they need to hit one of the 2. I mean, they did just draw twice, so it's a good chance that they can hit the portal unit. I guess one other thing I can do is actually play the Lieutenant Dragon, the Lieutenant first, but then I'm risking... I guess I have another Shyvana. So Shyvana dying is not a big deal. We have Concerted Strike. I mean, we can make our dragons big enough to deal with the cat. Oh, wow. Huh. So... I think I like it. I think I like this. So I think I'm gonna go here. Pull this guy. And have access to the Dragon's Clutch. As well as the single combats if I need to. So this is already lethal. The opponent's gonna have to block Shyvana. And then we play the Dragon's Clutch. And we're still in a position where we can potentially just win. Because we'll have access to the single combat to remove the blocker. So the opponent's gonna need to have like a Hush. I guess they could have like a way to kill Shyvana maybe. Guiding Touch gets them another portal. So it gets them another blocker. They're gonna think that they're safe blocking the Firebrand. They might think they're safe blocking the Firebrand, which I guess almost gets them there, but then they get punished by this, and that's exactly lethal, and that's why that Dragon Egg is just so good. That Dragon Egg is so good. if giving my big dragons overwhelm, as well as yeah, giving my big dragons overwhelm as well as spell shield, it feels so nice. Actually, it's probably better to go like this, right? This makes it so that both overwhelms go all the way through. Because killing this one doesn't matter, because my unit's already gonna die. We rather just kill the Warding Stones. This gets double Fury proc and lets the overwhelm damage goes through, and we win the game. So, GG's. In this match, we're going against TF Aphelios. I like the Wound Dragon Guard. I like the Herald of the Dragons. I think Kadrigan is a little bit too expensive to start with. That's okay. We got a third one in our hand. I just didn't want to be stuck with, like, if I keep one in my hand, there's a chance that I draw a second one. And then, yeah. Let me see. So we go Herald, Ruined Dragon Guard. Hope that we get Shyvana or something similar that we can play on turn 4. We'll be able to play any of our dragons. As long as we get at least one dragon, we'll be able to play any of them. And we have the things to actually be able to kill like an Aphelios or the like. I guess opponent could have access to like heavy metal.
There's another one.
Right? I guess technically opponent could have access to like a heavy metal. To just kill this Herald. Wow. Okay. Question is, do we just go second Herald? I'm gonna go Ruined Dragon Guard first. I don't think I need to summon this Kadrigan this early, right? This also gives me a chance to single combat like an Aphelios if it comes down next turn. Okay, I guess opponent could have Equinox, and then they can choose which one to Equinox.
Is just accidental art.
No? Okay. Give me another dragon! Yes, there we go. We can actually play, we can play the Herald.
I'm always up for a round or two.
We can play the Herald, but I actually think it's better to just play the Shyvana. I think it's better to play the Shyvana, even though we're not getting the full value from the Herald. Because opponent cannot attack anymore. Opponent is not able to attack anymore without... I mean, I get, if you want to attack, be my guest. Yeah, like... You know what? I'm gonna call your bluff and I'm just gonna try to level up Shyvana here. I'm gonna get both hits here. Because of this guy, I'm able to get a full value. Even if you have Pale Cascade, it's not enough to save you because I get the double Fury proc. So Pale Cascade doesn't save any one of your units. This also saves my Herald, allow me to play the Kadrigan on turn 5, be able to give the Shyvana the +1/+1, and be able to attack this way. Still doesn't work, right? Yeah, still doesn't work. I still get the full value from it. They do have something that's quote-unquote buff. We can go Kadrigan here. Shyvana now goes up to an A4. When she attacks, she get another +1. Allow me to pull anything, and then we can just kill this Twisted Fate just to make sure that the Twisted Fate doesn't randomly level up on us. Just to make sure this Twisted Fate doesn't randomly level up on us. I think this is probably the best way to do it. And Shyvana will also be leveled up even if this one dies. Oh wow. So now we have a leveled up Shyvana.
There are none like me.
That's huge because she keeps getting double Fury procs. We have leveled up Jarvan, so if we top deck the Jarvan, we're okay. We still have Concerted Strike. Ah, it's an elusive deck. Okay, so it's an elusive deck using the Admiral Shelly, and that's where this Concerted Strike comes in clutch. And also the single combat next turn. Now, you can play your Shelly out, but it's not gonna do anything for you. It's just an elusive deck. I didn't think that it was gonna be an elusive deck, but I guess it is. So we just go like this. Just kill the Shelly. I should have buffed the Kadrigan instead, by the way. I should have actually gotten the Kadrigan to attack first, spread out our damage. But that also works out. Shyvana just can get so big if left in check, so GG's. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the showcase of dragons today. You gotta see what I'm talking about. It takes a while, even when you feel like you're ahead, as you saw against that Illaoi TF game, it takes a while to actually finish your games. And that's the weakness with this deck, that when it's taking so long to finish your games, you're giving the opportunity for the opponent to be able to stabilize and come back and get rid of your big dragons, especially against control. That's kind of when it feels bad, when they can just vengeance your Shyvana or vengeance your Jarvan over and over and over again. It's like, okay, you know, like, it sucks, right? We also don't have a ton of draw aside from the Dragon Shot and the Bell Cascade, which also kind of makes it a little bit awkward sometimes to really get the value that you're looking for. Aside from that, though, you kind of see how crazy and how quickly Shyvana can get out of control, especially when you have a ruined Dragon Guard on your field. I think this card is just so good for the Dragon archetype, just being able for you to pretty much ignore chump blockers. Because even if you have a 2-power chump blocker, you're getting 2 health back from the Shyvana Double Fury, so you know you're still fine. It's like you didn't take any damage at all, which allows your dragons to stay on the field even longer. We didn't get to see a lot of the combo, but one of my favorite combos with this deck is going to be Fuse Firebrand into Cadragon. That way you're able to give the Fuse Firebrand +1/+1 and also have Challenger, and he already has Spell Shield, so he ends up being a really good card that can remove a lot of the opponent's threats while being a little bit safe itself because of the Spell Shield. The other thing for this deck, as you saw, is the strikes are just so important. Single combat instead of strikes, they're just so good at keeping your units and being able to remove the opponent's units and allow you to kind of get some value that the opponent might not be expecting. You just gotta understand how the opponent deck wants to play so that you're able to actually punish them with our strikes before they can actually get to the win condition. As you saw us always removing the tentacles. In terms of mulligan, I'm definitely looking for like an early start, right? So Dragon Shout, Herald the Dragons, Dwayne Dragon Guard, those are all amazing keeps. I like keeping one Shyvana because I think she's really, really good early on. And also the Wounded Wifeling. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for all my early units. Shyvana, Wounded Wifeling, Dragon Guard, Herald the Dragons, Dragon Shout. The Lieutenant is the only early unit that, sometimes you don't need to keep. Especially if you have any dragons in your hands, you'll click it away. But if you don't need like an early blocker or a way to like, if you don't need to challenge something right away, you can just kick this back and instead focus on your other units. All of your spells, you can just push them back and hope to get them later on. But yeah, just definitely try to at least get Shyvana and Wounded Wifeling so that you have at least one dragon in your hand to get advantage of the Herald of the Dragons and the Ruined Dragon Guard as early as you can and kind of stack them up. What else? What other points can I think about with this deck? Ooh, ASol, I think, is niche, right? It's kind of like a way for me to potentially come back in a really late game scenario, but you can cut it and add something else if you think he's not really doing anything. I think Jarvan has been really critical in this deck. I know he's not a dragon, but because of the dragons having fury, a lot of times they're able to survive a lot of battles, which allows us to kind of normally just level up the Jarvan with no problem. And then when Jarvan comes down, it synergizes really well with Shyvana because of that Cataclysm, giving us access to another strike on top of that, as you saw in the games against the Illaoi TF. But that'd be it for me today. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and our gameplay, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.